Hello everyone, welcome to Cards and Coffee Time. I am so excited to be sharing with you my Easter card series. We're going to be doing 10 cards in 10 days and love Easter. Easter will be the second week in April, and we need to make some Easter cards. So we're going to start off with card number 1. Thanks for joining me. My name's Tina, and we're going to use the Simon Says Stamp Some Bunny stamp set. It's an adorable set. You are going to love it. Excuse my foo-foo coffee. Love foo-foo coffees. The stamp pad, or actually the paper pad that I'm going to be using, is an older paper pad. I have tons of paper pads I'm going to use at my stash. I decided I'm not buying no more. I am going to use what I have. Well, we're going to go ahead and stamp up the little chickie that's in the stamp set. We're going to stamp 3 of him. And we'll actually stamp 4. One of them you can't tell there, but I messed up. I didn't wipe them off very good. But we're going to stamp 4. And then for the sentiments, we're going to stamp Happy Easter. And we're going to stamp Hey Chickie. Now we're going to kind of separate them a little bit because we're going to use some dies to cut them out. I'm using Tuxedo Black Memento, well actually it's Tuxedo Memento Black ink. And then we're going to use the alcohol markers. Now my coloring skills with alcohol markers are nothing fancy, nothing to brag about. I just self-taught in coloring. Just using 3 of my yellow colors here to blend, and they're not Copic markers. Copic markers are incredibly expensive, and so I figured if I'm going to try coloring with alcohol markers, I'm going to start off with the cheaper set. This set, I believe let's say it's called Bianyo. Bianyo. I got them off of Amazon, pretty reasonable price, and so far they've been working out pretty good. I don't ever use the other side of the marker tip because it's a flat wide tip, but the fine tip here works just fine. And here we are coloring 3 of our little chickies. We're going to just darken the edges a little bit. Gives them a little bit more dimension. These little chickies are so easy to color. Basically, they're just round. Love them. They're adorable. And then we're going to take some pink, color in those little cheeks. And then we're going to use orange to color in his little nose. Now, the dies that I'm using, don't ask me where I got them. I put all of my word bubble dies in one envelope, didn't bother to label them or anything. So I'm using 2 of them from my stash. We cut those out, and then we're going to pop them out here. And then now we're going to cut out our little chickies. Okay, got everything cut out. Now we're going to work on our card. We're going to use 3 of the pattern paper from the paper pad that I'm using. The paper pad is from American Crafts, and it's called Welcome Spring. We're going to cut those out. I'm using my rectangle die and then a smaller die to cut out this pink pattern paper. And then I'm using my scallop edge punch. I haven't used this in a while, but we're going to make a scallop border. We're going to trim this down just a little bit, and then we're going to cut this little polka dot paper in a little bit smaller. Now we're going to trim off the pattern paper. My idea is we're going to make a window with the little chickies peeking out. So we're going to remove the center. There we go. Now we're going to, I think the chickies just need a little bit more accent, and I want their nose to be popping out, so I took my craft knife and we just cut out his nose so it kind of overlaps on the paper. Just little things like that add a lot of dimension, I think. I'm so excited. He looks so cute. Love Easter. Oh my gosh, I love spring. Now we adhere those down. Now we're going to use some foam adhesive to lift these up off the back. And while I have this foam tape out, we're going to add foam to the rest of our little cutouts here. Okay, now once we got that done, we are going to adhere that to our card. Our bottom piece of pattern paper. Lovely. Now we're going to work on our bottom piece here. Trying to figure out where I want the scallop to go, on top or on the bottom. And I'm thinking we're going to put it on the bottom. And we're just going to trim off the excess. And now I want one of the chickies standing. So of course he needs legs. So I'm just going to use my stamp block. I'm going to trim this down a little bit more. I think it's a little bit too wide. Stick that back on our scallop piece. There we go. Lovely. Okay. We're going to just use the stamp block. Pop our chickie up there and stamp him directly on the pattern paper. There we go. Now we got legs. Woohoo! Okay, we're going to pop him up on some foam adhesive tape. And then just for a little bit more, I have some white twine here, and we're going to tie a bow. Perfect. Okay. Now peel off the backing and adhere him straight to our card front. Now we need to double him up on the top so he pops out a little bit. And then we're going to adhere our sentiment. First one says, "Hey chickie." Now this one I think we're going to wait. And we're going to figure out where we're going to put him, the sentiment, after we adhere him to the card base. I'm just using a standard card base, A2 card base that's white. We're going to trim off our little ribbon. Now we know where to put our second sentiment. We're going to trim off the excess here. And we're going to call this card done. So fast, so easy, and simple. I think the Easter card series is going to be so much fun. Thank you for joining me for card number 1. For more inspiration, if you want to visit me on my blog at cardsandcoffeetime.com, I would love that. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a wonderful day.